V's, and then they moved to a more classier name, Formula Shane. But he built mud pluggers, he built hound dogs, everything. So Formula V really belongs to Wicklow, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. David Shane, when I started racing, he was the same as you. You'd say, how much I owe there? He'd be almost sorry, £3, Leo.
£3,
yeah. A gentleman, and like Motorsport owes an awful lot to him. After that, Mick, you bought Vivian Daly's Formula Ford, didn't you? After you won Formula V's, you moved into Formula Ford.
I bought Brendan McKenna's Formula Ford. I bought a Crosley 32F, and I raced that, a very nice car. And then I bought a Vivian Daly's, Lord of Mercy, another chap that's passed on. I bought his Reynard, and then I got involved with Mondial in Northern Ireland with a guy called Bernard Dolan.
Did you skip a bit there, Mick? Were you not famous for a big picture of you with VW, with Mercedes commercial vehicles on the side of the car, way up in the air?
Well, I never forget, one day I was in Galway and I pulled into a local hostelry. I'm the area service manager for Mercedes in Ireland, so I travelled the length and breadth of Ireland, and I pulled into a man's pub anyway and walked in, and lo and behold, up above the fire is my Reynard flying through the air, because myself and Finn Murray touched one day in Mondello, and I flew through the air, writing off both cars. So yes, Leo, I have flown. I'm like right there.
Yeah, that was an iconic picture. It was around for years in Auto Ireland magazines, in the Irish Motorsport Annual. Dolan. But I interrupted you there. You were about to touch on Bernard Dolan. That's a really interesting story.
Yeah, Bernard Dolan, his dad was a very good customer of mine, and he suggested that he told me his son was racing, so he asked me would I look after him, and I got involved with Bernard, and Bernard won the Irish Formula Ford Junior Championship. He won the Irish Formula Ford Senior Championship. Then we went to England and we won the British. He became a works driver for Reynard. Then we did European Opel Lotus, and then we did British Formula 3. So Bernard now is associated with myself with Motorsport Ireland in the new Driver of the Year award. And Bernard's going to run the team, and I've been appointed mentor for Motorsport Ireland for Kevin O'Hara, who is a new guy. And we have to thank the Irish Sports Council, Irish Dunlop, Motorsport Ireland, and a lot of people who are getting behind this project now, you know.
Mick, you're a bit like Bernard Dolan there. You're being a bit too modest. Let's go back. When you said he was in Formula Vauxhall Lotus, he regularly beat Rubens Barrichello and David Coulthard.
Well, Bernard's a very easygoing guy, and I mean Bernard was destined for Formula 1. The biggest problem we had was finance. We kind of ran out of money with British Formula 3 after spending a lot of hundreds of thousands. But Bernard, at our first round of the European Championship in Donington, I was standing beside Bernard, and the whole field had gone out, and we were still in the pit road, in the actual pit garage, and he was putting on his gloves, taking his time, and I said, Bernard, you know, we need to move on. These guys are on the second lap. And he went out, he done 2 warm-up laps, and he put it on pole in the third lap. We did 4 laps, and I think they did 15, and that was Bernard's talent. Beat Barrichello, Coulthard. That's the thing about us here in Ireland. We have so many talented drivers in all across the walk of life. Rallying, motorsport, single-seaters, touring cars, sports cars. We have so many talented drivers. It's the lack of finance that stops them going on.
Well, Mick, this project you spoke about briefly there, Motorsport Ireland and the Irish Sports Council give an award every year to the Irish Young Driver of the Year. They've honed the selection process. There are people that choose the Driver of the Month on their performances, and then they go forward, and the last 3 are selected, and they have to go through a media interview, and the Irish Sports Council interview them, and they've got that better and better, and now they've taken back the money, which I think is a good idea. They've given this drive. But this year, we've got a really, at the moment, I think there's a group of quicker guys that we've had for a long time. Sean Doyle, one of them down there, exactly. Kevin O'Hara being another one. And I think Kevin is probably, is he a year or 2 ahead of Sean Doyle? And he was probably the right decision this time around. And Kevin is going to get into the best guy running the car, probably one of the best cars. You know, it's hard to see Kevin getting beaten. Sean is still here, and he's going to be eligible for it next year, which looks even better again for the award. It's looking very, very good for Irish Motorsport. If we're ever going to be able to give them a leg up, now is the time.
Well, Leo, if I go back a step, I was on the advisory body and the interview board for this new award, and we had 6 delegates who were picked for the award, and somebody always has to win, and Kevin has won it this year. But I have to say, those 6 guys were so impressive. I mean, I've been involved in British Formula Ford, I've been involved in Europe, I've been involved in World Touring Cars, but our Irish guys, these 6 guys that came, they were so professional. From, as you know, Leo, motorsport is not just about driving the car, it's driver presentation, driver being awareness of the driver, and these guys all have it. And I can tell you, Leo, I won't give out the points that were scored, but every one of those guys was so close, it gave us such a headache to pick one, and a little feature extra maybe just got that guy that. But the other guys, I'm very well assured, will be stars of the future. That's for definite. We are so lucky.
I think we have got a good crop. And I think I have big hopes for Kevin this year. I think we know how much talent Kevin has, and then he's got Bernard on the car, and you helping him with the mentoring. I think if you can get Bernard out of bed and get the car there on time, you probably win every race we go to.
Well, Bernard by his nature is a relaxed person, and sometimes that is a very good attribute to have. I seen Bernard winning the British Formula Ford Championship. I was there. I know how it happened, and it wasn't easy. The previous week he was crashed. He was put into the wall in Silverstone. His hand went into a paralysis. He couldn't move his fingers, and I met him. I didn't know what I was going to do. I got a phone call from Larry Mooney, who told me that the guy had a crash. I wasn't there at that particular event, and we were put in touch with a man from Tipperary called Tom Ryan, and Tom Ryan was a mentor. He was an unbelievable man. He was a physical fitness guy, and he was the son of a 7th son, and he had these magic touches. And we brought Bernard up to King's Lynn up in Norfolk, and we were back on the Sunday and we won the race, and then Tom announced that he was the works mentor for the Van Diemen team, and he gave us his time for free, didn't charge us, and Van Diemen sacked him on the spot that day. But he joined and he came to Ireland and he gave his service. There's lots of guys here who worked with Tom Ryan, so the poor man has passed on, but another Irishman giving his help to Irish.
You have to remember these guys, a lot of legacies out there. We couldn't really sit here, you and I, without bringing up Neil.
No, Neil Shanahan. Neil was an extraordinary talented person. We were very lucky that he joined our team in 1997. It is hard for me to talk about this chap because it's such an emotional thing. This young guy was killed. He won everything in Ireland. He won 8 races out of 11 in Formula Ford 1600. He won 6 races out of 10 in Formula Ford C-Tech. I got him into the Works Van Diemen team. His father and mother were absolute angels with what they did for this kid, and unfortunately he was killed at Oldham Park on the 5th round of the championship. And I wear this tie in honour of Neil Shanahan at many events. He was destined for Formula 1. In that time that Neil was racing in 1999, I already was committed with a budget of millions to take him to Formula 1. I had done a deal with Eddie, and Eddie had given me a guidance on where we were to do. He gave us Formula 3, he told us Formula 3000, and we even had an idea of when we would plan the test in a Formula 1 car. It was the best package I've ever seen in Ireland, but we were robbed of the talent, and we'll keep talking about him. His memory, his mother and father are wonderful people, and I'll never forget that.
It's not easy for me to talk about him, but it's important that we talk about him.
Very important. Just a talented guy, and we've lots of talented guys. And the unfortunate thing now, when we take on people to do motorsport, unfortunately I have to remind the family that, this is a very dangerous sport and you can be killed at it,
It is a dangerous sport, and Oldham Park is, I suppose, one of the more dangerous circuits on the spectrum. A lot of people have been lost at Oldham Park. But his family are still involved. There's still a Neil Shanahan Award. They go to the Formula Ford Festival every year, so do you.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, well, the parents, we decided, and I advised the parents on what they should do, and I said, look, if you wish to do this, we can. So they put up an award every year at the Formula Ford Festival, and there is a cash award there of £1,000, and that goes to the driver, because most of the money goes to the team, but we made sure it went to the driver, and it's a Neil Shanahan Award. And also in karting, the karting award is a Neil Shanahan